Council, you ready to roll? Yeah. Good morning, everyone. I want to call this meeting to order. We have an agenda before us. I'm just wondering if there's any additions to the agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. On behalf of administration, under 9, new business. 9.5, Alberta Environment and Protective Services. 9.5.1, declaration of agricultural disaster. That is the only item from administration.
Any other items? All right, looking for a motion to adopt the amended agenda. Thank you, Councillor Deschênes, for making that motion. Any discussion? I'm not seeing none. I'll call for the vote. That's carried. Thank you. I have a regular meeting of council for July 14, 2026. I need adoption of those minutes, please. Thank you, Caroline. Councillor Palmer, for making that motion. That council approves adopting the minutes of July 14th, 2026 regular meeting of council as presented. Any discussion on this, council? I'm not seeing any. I'll call for the vote, please. That's carried. Thank you. Let's go to 6.1, development application number 2026D119 work camp.
Good morning.
Morning.
So this is development permit application 2026-D-119. It was tabled on July 14th, 2026. Since then, the applicant has amended the operation and site plan to attempt to mitigate compatibility issues that were raised by the adjacent landowner. Appendix G is the narrative of the change, and Appendix H is the proposed new layout.
Mr. Reid, my apologies. If we could just get a motion to lift the item from the table.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah. I need a motion to lift development application to 2026D19 work camp to be lifted from the table. All right. Thank you, Councillor Amalia, for making this motion that item 6.1 development application number 2026D119 work camp be lifted from the table. Any discussion on this, council? Yes. Yes, go ahead, Councillor Deschênes.
From what we see on the changes and the part of the application here, I'm not seeing enough changes to make it work. So I don't know if we should be taking it off the table yet. I didn't think we had discussed it enough, and I would prefer that we had discussed these changes before we take it off the table. But if we will be voting on this, I'll be okay with that. But I think we should discuss in council more about this, the changes that they've made for this application. That's all. So.
Okay, we'll be hearing, we have to take it off the table to hear about the changes, don't we?
Yeah, that's what I figured.
That's why we're taking it off the table, I think. Is that correct? Okay. Thank you for that. Any other discussion on this motion? Okay, I'm seeing none. I'll call for the vote. Okay, that's carried. Thank you. Now I'll continue. I apologize, council. I forgot to do that before you started. 100% my fault. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so if we are looking at Appendix H, which is the new layout, So the orientation has changed so that the higher activity areas are at the center of the site. They have relocated the parking areas of the campground. They've created an internal ring road. They have added a perimeter security chain link fence. They relocated the utilities, and just one thing I do want to point out, that this is a dry camp, so no drugs, alcohol, or recreational cannabis is allowed. And so the noisier portions of the camp are facing to the east instead of the previous orientation. So we do have the adjacent landowner here, and we do have the applicant here, if you would like to hear from them. But our recommendation is that council approves development application 2026-D-119 for a 300-person work camp as a discretionary use as per Part 6, Section 6.3, and Part 7, Section 7.3.2 of the land use bylaw, with the same conditions recommended before.
Okay, thank you. Council, do you want to hear from both parties? Yeah? If anyone would like to speak, so do we have to make a motion for both parties, or can we, for each party or for both parties? That's if they want to speak.
We can do them all in one motion again.
Okay. Does either of the for or against like to speak this morning? Okay, we have to make a motion, then we can call you up, ma'am, all right? I'll wait for the motion to come up, and then someone can make the motion.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, thank you. Deputy Reeve Fideo is going to make this motion that council approves the applicant as well as the concerned residents to address council regarding the agenda item 6.1, development application number 2026D119 work camp. Any discussion on this motion? I'm seeing none. I'll call for the vote. That's carried. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
I do have some questions which, for me, to this point, have not been answered. So if you'll just indulge me while I go through this. Firstly, has an independent assessment been done on the impact of traffic, on lighting, on sewage, on noise? Has this been done? And if so, has it been done and made public to this point? Those questions. Has there been a discussion or thought given to moving the entrance and the exit for the vehicles to the other, more northerly end of the camp to decrease the traffic impact on the residential property to the south? How is sewage disposal to be taken care of? How is waste management to be taken care of? Has an environmental study impact been done? Have all these things been made public, if they have been done? And if they have, may I know where to look for them so that I can look through them? Will there be a knowledgeable property manager on site and accessible 24/7? Will you have an environmental savvy personnel on staff? That's important. If the camp is no longer operated for the purpose it's being constructed for, will the camp be dismantled totally and immediately? Those are the questions that I've sort of been mulling over in my mind and I have no answers to. So if I could get help on that, it would be appreciated.
Okay. Did you contact someone here from the MD and ask these questions, or is this the first time we heard of these questions?
I have not.
Okay,
The questions I came up with, I mean, I myself was a property manager for many, many, many years. The environmental officer worked for me, the hazardous materials officer worked for me. So these are not just questions out of the air.
yeah, I'm not saying they are, ma'am, but
No, no,
I was
no,
just
no.
asking if you had
And
asked someone.
Absolutely, I'm not suggesting.
Okay. Any questions from councilors to this lady? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
And sir, would you like to speak or? Yeah.
Morning.
Morning, just
My name's
press.
Paul Duguay. I'm
Yeah,
with,
yeah, press it. There you go. Thank you.
hi, good morning. Thank you for letting me speak this morning. My name's Paul Duguay. I'm with Northgate Industries. Our founder, Sid Brexma, purchased this property in 1986 with the idea that he would one day be able to develop it. So that kind of brings us here to today. We heard loud and clear the questions and concerns raised at the initial hearing, and we think we've put together a good package to mitigate a lot of those concerns. We can't completely silence the camp or mitigate every impact, but I think we've been able to reduce things down with what we've done by addressing traffic flow, moving the parking area to the center of the property, creating the service area for consumables to the north of the camp, which again tends to be a louder noise area, creating a buffer of over 115 feet between us and the southern border of the camp, completely fencing the camp and creating a gate for access. I've operated a lot of work camps. They're a quiet area, typically. They're not like your typical hotel. There's not restaurants and bars in there. There's an eating area, but there's night shifts and day shifts working at all times. So all of the dorms are a quiet area, and that's policed very, very strictly. One of the things we'll do in operating camp is it's going to be a dry camp, which is absolutely zero tolerance to drugs and alcohol on site. And hopefully that will be enough to get our permits approved this morning.
All right, thank you. Any questions, council? You have one, Councilor?
Yeah,
Yep,
please.
go ahead, Deputy Reeve Fadeev.
So it's been a while since I've been here, so a lot of this stuff has been kind of going through my head, and I'm trying to regurgitate what you mentioned before in regards to the camp that was scheduled to go across the road that was set up for 1,500. Are you guys the same guys that are operating that camp?
Yes, yeah. That's correct.
So the reason you didn't expand that is from, I think they went from 1,500 down to 600?
Yes, the requirement went from 1,500
Right.
down to 600.
And whose requirement was that?
Pardon me?
So whose requirement was that?
That's that caused the reduction.
Yeah.
Basically, there was two prime contractors going to be doing the work, and they've had basically a falling out.
Okay.
So the one contractors decided we're going to have our camp here, which is located in Cold Lake,
Right.
and then we're talking with the other contractor about accommodating his crews on our location.
Right.
So in addition to the what was it, 1,500 person camp, though, that workforce requirement hasn't gone away. It's still going to be about 1,500 remote workers and transient workers coming into the community. So 600 of them would be there, and then the additional 800 needs to be accommodated somewhere else. So we have the property at 55 that we're working with the landowner there, but we also own our own property across the street. When the size of the camp was reduced, we thought, we've owned this property for over 40 years. We should try and take advantage of situating some of those workers on our site.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Councilor Palmer.
Through the Reeve to the applicant. Good morning. I'm just looking at your site plan on Appendix G, is it? Or H, sorry, H. Is this site plan north, south, east, west?
Yes.
So one of the questions or hopes that we had outlined in our last meeting was that we would not have parking lots bordering the southern boundary and to have maybe the structures more to the southern boundary and all of the parking. I see there's 48 parking stalls on the southern boundary. So then, to me, that would mean more lights. That would be to the parking lot to the south. Why is all the parking not in the central part of your site plan?
Yeah, and we're trying to achieve the amount of parking we need for the site. There's going to be basically a busing component to this where people will be parking, and then their car's going to stay put for the entire period. They're going to get on a bus and take the bus to work and then a bus back to the camp at the end of their shift. So that was to create just the maximum amount of parking needed, with the idea that the majority of the parking would be located in the center of the camp where you can see those, which has a separation through the buildings, basically blocking the lights and noise and any access in and out from the parties.
So
It would not be a problem for us to remove that parking on the southern part of that building. It's not fully required.
So that parking area to the south would be accommodating who? Employees, people who are staying on the camp?
Exactly, yes.
So then you would require lighting on that side of the buildings then, would you not?
Yeah, there would have to be, regardless of the parking, there would have to be lighting on that side of the building, yeah.
So then if you were to put the parking to the north, then all the lights are going to be facing the north versus some of them facing south where our adjacent landowners are located. So would that be a possibility to move that parking to the center and have all your parking in the central?
Yes, absolutely.
Thank
Yep.
you.
Counselor Klug? Sorry about that.
That's okay. Going back to your original camp that's 1,500 and they had a falling out, wouldn't it be more sensible just to split the camp there, put a fence down the center and keep them in the same area? And that way your service trucks is one truck going in, one back truck coming out, whatever, instead of going across the road back and forth.
Yeah, that
You know.
that's would be one sensible way of dealing with it, but that's not the reality of what the two proponents are doing.
Yeah, but if they have camps everywhere and they can be beside each other, they're just a separate compound. If they don't get along, they're not crossing a fence, and this way you're staying away from the residential area more.
I wouldn't use the words "don't get along," and I don't know exactly what the reasons were that why they did that. I'm just recognizing the need for accommodations that was proposed to us and trying to come up with a workable solution for them.
But you
And at the
originally,
same time, take advantage of property we've owned in the area
but
for decades.
originally you had enough area to keep everybody in one zone. Like basically, everybody would be in the West 55 subdivision area.
Yeah, well, there's a parking, a road between us and 55, that's all. But economies of scales would dictate one location would be more economically.
Yeah, more
But
beneficial to
that's
the
not the
camp.
reality of what's being proposed and why it's being proposed to us.
Okay.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? You have anything else, sir?
No, a lot of the questions our neighbor has raised were submitted and answered and submitted with our initial permit application. I'm gonna say it answered 90% of those questions, and I'm available to answer any further questions as they come up. We want to be a good neighbor here. We're hoping this camp, if it goes through, is going to be employing up to 50 people within the community and supporting companies and services within the area. Yeah, we ask your support.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Through the Reeve to Council, I do have some information that was provided at the last council meeting. So waste and water management systems are going to be, and domestic waste are going to be taken care of by third-party contractors. They have redesigned the location or the orientation of the camp to try and address as much noise as possible. Traffic is it is on a highway, so it is the responsibility of Alberta Transportation, and the applicant did apply for an Alberta Transportation approval, so anything regarding traffic noise and traffic impact assessment would be from the province to request if they wanted it. And because of the scale of this operation, we do not require an environmental impact study. That's not part of the land use bylaw.
Okay. Councillor Palmer?
Through the reef to Christie. So you're talking about Highway 55 to the north?
It is Highway 897.
897.
Running north and south as well. Yeah, so it is an Alberta transportation jurisdiction, so even relocating the approach is not within our scope to approve.
Thank you.
So just to get my bearings here.
Yeah.
So the other camp is going to be literally across the road and a little bit to the north. Is that correct?
That is correct. It would have been in the West 55 Industrial Park,
So-
but because the demand is not there anymore, they want to utilize their own property.
I see, yeah. Any other questions, or are you done your,
I am done, thank you.
okay. Well, we're looking for a motion. No. And furthermore, from Councillor Palmer's question to move the parking to the north side, that'll be fine. Okay. Anyone like to make this motion? Councillor Palmer,
Make the motion to approve with the condition or with reference to the southern parking to be moved to the central location of the site plan as agreed by applicant.
okay, thank you. Councillor Palmer for making this motion. The council approve the development permit application number 2026D119 for a 300-person work camp as a discretionary use per Part 6, Section 6.38 and Part 7, Section 73216 of the land use bylaw with the following conditions 1 through 9. Any discussion on this motion? Deputy Reeve Fadeev.
Yeah, it's more of a comment, Reeve, in regards to that. We built these industrial parks for a reason, to keep a lot of the noise away from certain things. And I also do get that this property has been owned with the people since 1986, so it's just it's a fine balance, right? So, but yeah, it's going to be a tough vote. Thank you.
Okay. Any other comments on this motion? Councillor Kaluk.
I don't get the full understanding why they don't want to be in the industrial area where it's, Mr. Padilla just suggested it would keep the peace and quiet a lot more off the main road, because they can come in from 55, they can go back out on 55, and they're not going towards, on 897, going south into the base. So it wouldn't be affecting any residential people on that side if they came in from 55 and went right to West 55 subdivision instead of coming down farther.
But they would be going down 897 to the base if they're working on the base, wouldn't they?
The buses would be, but it would take all the traffic or the heavy trucks coming in and out. They wouldn't be going past the residential up to their site there. So I think it should be back where they originally started myself.
All right, thank you. Any other discussion? All right, I'll call for the vote. It's a slow one. Sorry? Okay, this has been defeated. Thank you. On to 7.1, 7.1. Oh, yes, we do at 9:30. Yep. Thank you. I marked it and then I forgot about it. We have a delegation, travel, Lakeland, and there she is. Sorry about that.
Oh, that's fine. Thank you.
Morning.
Good morning. My name is Michelle Wright. I'm the president of Travel Lakeland.
Can you sing, though?
No, but I whine a lot.
Ah, good one.
But it's good you know her.
A good one.
Thank you for having us today. We are making our rounds to all of our municipal partners over the next several weeks. Some of you may have been present at our May 21st session in St. Paul, where we presented our destination development project. I'll speak to that a little bit today, and also on our next steps and what we're looking to do with our municipal partners. So you have in front, oh, do you need the stick? All right. So we are what is known as Northeast Lakelands. That's a designation we have received from Travel Alberta when they did the original travel destination zone work. This is an area from the Saskatchewan border to Athabasca, north of Lac La Biche, and south to Highway 16. We are an area that has a great number of assets, and we are looking to develop those assets further in our economic development and investment attraction project. We have primary clusters identified in this. You can go to the next slide. We do have some primary clusters that we are looking at, including the Smoky Lake, Lac La Biche, St. Paul, Vegreville, Vermilion, Cold Lake. That would include Bonnyville and Lloydminster. We expect that our draft strategy, which will be out in a couple of weeks, will actually identify 4 clusters instead of the 7. On the next page is our map. And that's what I spoke to. Now, these boundaries, again, were the tourism destination zones identified by Travel Alberta, and we are looking at doing a destination management organization designation in October, where these boundaries may extend slightly or contract based on our conversations with our neighbors. The next slide. This is what Travel Alberta and the province of Alberta are up to. By 2035, they're looking for a $25 billion target for tourism. And truly, it is an economic development strategy. What they're looking to do is raise jobs, investment, and economic value to our communities. and Travel Lakeland has a big role to play in that development. So here's where we're at. Current projects, next one. Thank you. We have received NRED funding. Our grant is $183,000, of which we have matched $183,000. So we are doing a $366,000 project over 2 years, 2.5 years, to develop a 20-year destination development plan. Now, this is an investment, attraction, and economic development plan. So while we have beautiful things in beautiful places, this is about getting more investment into our communities in the tourism industry. We also have a SIP-funded project for an additional $80,000. This was to look at our actual organization and determine how we could optimize the organization to be ready for the 20-year strategy. So we've looked at our systems, we're looking at processes, policies, and our capacity and what our resourcing might look like. And then usually every year we do get funding from Travel Alberta, and that is predominantly focused on marketing. All of these activities that we're doing are in support of the province's goals, that revenue increase that I spoke about, a focus on Indigenous tourism, a focus on all-season resorts, and air access. And our strategy will include all of those. So today, what we're here to present and leave with the council to consider is what our municipal next slide, thank you. Municipal partnership engagements. So in particular for this area, we are looking very closely at Kinnessoo Ridge and the opportunity to grow that into a signature attraction through a Lakeland Tourism Company. Now, the Lakeland Tourism Company will be a for-profit organization that will be held by shareholders, and that will be separate from the Destination Marketing Organization, which will continue to be a not-for-profit, which will be raising grant funding and looking after the marketing. So we have had some initial conversations with Kinnessoo about what's available out there and the potential for that all-season resort designation to add that as a signature attraction to the strategy. What we're looking for today for your consideration, and we will follow up with a formal request for decision, membership to continue at 30 cents per capita. We are not increasing our membership, but we are looking to have a special assessment for 2 years at 70 cents per capita. That will bridge us between the time that we are implementing the start of the strategy and when the strategy actually starts to generate revenue for the organization. We're also looking to have these dollars match an application we're making to the government in October for a SIP collaboration grant. So any of the dollars that we do get in that special assessment will be used for matching dollars with the province. Collaborations with tourism and economic development teams. Your team's been great. We've had a lot of conversations with them about what's going on in the tourism industry in the community, what they're looking to achieve, what council's aspirations are, and we'd like to continue to have that engagement and that relationship. We would look to have an investment attraction lead in the community, likely to be your economic development team, and then also to work together on marketing strategies. In the past 2 years, we have created an inventory in Lakeland of over 1,800 tourism assets. That is now being housed in a new system that we have created and have built for us. And we would ask that the administration also look to support us in keeping that asset inventory up to date and make that our source of truth. We can download all kinds of spreadsheets and reports and analysis for the teams, but we do want to see that we have a single source of truth and that remains as where we're storing that tourism data. And as always, for municipal partners, our infrastructure needs and realistic expectations for growth. We get that tourism is number 4 in top industries in Alberta, but we're a long ways down from energy, healthcare, and agriculture. So we do expect that, number 4 is going to pull pretty heavy in the next couple of years, but we know that we are unlikely to reach the levels of agricultural, energy, and healthcare. We also have the ability at this point, we have altered our membership strategy slightly so that if you are currently not a member, which I believe you are a member, but for those that are not members, we are extending our payment schedule. So as soon as you pay, you are good for 12 months, and we're not doing it on a calendar year. So with that, if there are any questions, we are continuing to do our grant funding applications in a number of areas, including looking at ACP grants for certain parts of our strategy. And we will be coming back with that final strategy within the next month or two. And as I mentioned, a follow-up with a request for decision that will identify these items that I've listed on the slide here, give you more of a background, and allow you to then deliberate and discuss on our adventure.
Okay, thank you for your presentation. Councillor Duchesne?
I have a couple questions, so are you affiliated with Go East of Edmonton?
It's a very good question. We do get asked that a lot. So Go East is a marketing organization. They're also a not-for-profit. We are working with them on the designation for the DMO. One of the things the province has asked us to do is to speak with our neighboring DMOs about where they anticipate they're going to be applying for their designation so that we don't get into a border dispute about who has which parts of the area. What we do tell our operators is that any marketing organization in the area is a great opportunity for them, and Go East does wonderful work in the marketing area. So while Travel Lakeland will have a significant marketing budget, we will also be doing the investment attraction and economic development piece as a development organization, so beyond marketing.
Okay. And in your statements, special assessment for 2027, 2028 budget considerations, was it just for that 1 year, that one season, or for both years?
For both years, yeah. So it'd be 70 cents per year for 2 years.
Just for the 2 years? Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and the reason we chose to do that is we had looked at raising the membership fees to, say, $1 per capita every year, but we don't anticipate we will need the dollars from our municipal partners, and we know that once you set those memberships up, they're likely to decline again. So we chose to go the route of a special assessment instead, just to bridge us.
Thank you. Any other questions, Council? Yes, Deputy Reeve Fadeev?
Yeah, thank you. We all love to see tourism here, and people come, traveling down our highways, and our highways are our biggest deterrent to coming up here. Yesterday, I went to the city of Edmonton, and along the way, I seen 3 breakdowns on Highway 28. One with a boat trailer that tire was shredded, a pole camper, and also a C-class camper that was broken down. When these people go back home, they'll have nothing but terrible things to say about coming up here, right? So, again, with the ministry, it's rose-colored glasses, but the end of the day is, if we're not making our roads welcome to come up here, people aren't going to come up, especially when it costs them money. And it's bittersweet, right? Yeah, we had a great time, but it cost us thousands. We were down for a day. We had to take an extra day because we were sit down at the end of the road. There's people right now that are stocking up on extra rims and tires because they're expecting these breakdowns. So it's something to take back to, I guess, your levels going up. And again, I know the tourism minister sits on the treasury board to maybe find it in favor of fixing Highway 28, but it's in terrible shape, and it's sad for our tourism industry.
Yeah, yes, I drove from Smoky Lake today. So yes, the highway is not in great shape. We have raised that issue with our MLAs, and not just the MLAs along the Highway 28 corridor, but we have 5 MLAs that we're working with, and we recognize this tourism strategy will not be successful if the infrastructure is not in place to support it.
Yeah, I get it. Just one more thing in regards to that. We sit on a board called NAGO Group. There's 43 municipalities. We've all been with those same MLAs at the meetings with the with the ministers, and it just keeps getting down the road, and not in a good way, right? So again, it's frustrating. So yeah, and it's frustrating for our tourism partners that are in the MD as well.
Councillor Palmer?
Through the, just a question regarding the mapping, the route that you've chose. What brought you to choose that route?
So we were, that mapping was set aside by Travel Alberta when they defined the tourism destination zones. That work was done in 2023. What we're proposing to do is in our work for our designation. So the province has new legislation out about designating destination management organizations, anticipating that there could be attached to that a destination marketing fee, and they want that to be bounded and set boundaries. So we're now having the conversations with our partners, our neighbors, to say which boundary actually works and makes the most sense. So while the destination development zones were set by Travel Alberta, they didn't consider things like Highway 16 bisects several counties, and it doesn't make sense to have a county with 2 DMOs. So we'll be working through that as a working group and then making our proposal to the province on what we recommend.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Well, thank you for your time and very well done, and you have a safe trip. Maybe don't take 28 on the way back.
Thank you, and yes, we'll follow up and deliver that RFD to administration.
All right, thank you. Okay, council, just looking for a motion. Information. All right, thank you, Councillor Deschênes, for making this motion that council accepts the presentation by Travel Lakeland on the 20-year destination development strategy as information. Any discussion on this, council? I'm seeing none. I'll call for the vote. You're in favor? Yeah. You're welcome. No, it came up? All right. Punching the computer doesn't work. It feels good, though. Yeah, you're right there. All right, that was carried. Thank you. I guess we have one at 10, so we'll do a few more here. Let's do 7.1.
All right, this is development permit application 2026-D-178. Is it? Sorry. 2026-D-141. The applicant is applying for a second and third CCAN on their lot. Their property is Turcotte subdivision on Moose Lake. Adjacent properties are country residential lots. The applicant would like to set up 2 CCANs on their lot for securing their personal belongings, bringing their total to 3. The CCANs will be placed within trees on their lot, hiding them from the roadway. The land use bylaw states that the addition of 3 or more CCANs on a lot is a discretionary use. A review of the Moose Lake area structure plan shows no conflict with this application. Adjacent landowner letters were sent out on July 3rd, and we did not receive any letters or calls of concern. Our recommendation for development permit application 2026-D-141 is approve the request for a second CCAN as a permitted use and a third CCAN as a discretionary use as per Part 6, Section 6.3 and Part 7, Section 7.6 of the Land Use Bylaw with the following conditions. As per Section 7.6 of the Land Use Bylaw 1915, the minimum setback shall be front yard 7.6 meters, side yard 6 meters, rear yard 7.6 meters, building height maximum 7.3 meters for accessory buildings. As per section 6.3 of the Land Use Bylaw 1915, an accessory building shall not be used as a dwelling. A permanent accessory building shall not be located on an easement or utility right-of-way. An accessory building shall be set back a minimum of 2 meters as per the fire code regulations from the principal dwelling. And as per section 6.3.7 of the Land Use Bylaw 1915, an accessory building shall not exceed 3,000 square feet in area to a maximum combined accessory building area of 4,000 square feet. Any question?
Councillor Deschênes.
I have no questions. I'd be willing to make a motion.
All right, thank you. Councillor Deschênes for making this motion that council approves development permit application number 2026-D-141 for a second CCAN as permitted use and a third can as discretionary use on Plan 1, 2, 2, 4, 5, 6, 8, Block 1, Lot 4, within Southwest 961 7 west of 4th M, pursuant to Part 6, Section 3.5, and Part 7, Section 7.6 of the Land Use Bylaw with the following conditions before you, council. Any discussion on this motion? I'm seeing none. I'll call for the vote, please. That's carried. Thank you. On to 7.2.
This is Development Permit Application 2026-D-158 for Vest TSI. The applicant is applying for a 100-foot communication tower for operation controls. The property is located northeast of Highway 55 and Range Road 421 intersection, 1 mile east of the Highway 55 and 28 intersection. Adjacent properties are 2 residential lots, a quarter section, and remnant. The applicant would like to construct a 100-foot communication tower to provide automation and control to the wastewater treatment plant approved on Development Permit 2023-D-159. This application satisfies the Antenna System Siting Policy 3A.009. Adjacent landowner letters were sent out on July 22nd, and we received no response. An Alberta roadside development permit is required. And recommendation for development application 2026-D-158 is approve the request for a 100-foot communication tower for operations control as a discretionary use as per Part 6 of the General Regulations and Part 7, Section 7.3.2 of the Land Use Bylaw with the following conditions. As per Section 7.3.2 of the Land Use Bylaw 1915, the minimum setback shall be front yard 38 meters from the center line of the adjacent road, side yard 6 meters, rear yard 6 meters. As per Section 6.14.1 of the Land Use Bylaw 1915, the minimum setback shall be primary highway 71.3 meters from the center line. The development shall comply with Health Canada's Safety Code 6. Applicable electrical permits are required as per the Alberta Safety Codes Act. Compliance with all regulations of Innovation, Science and Economic Development Canada. Compliance with Transportation Canada and NAV Canada regulations. The tower shall be constructed in compliance with the National Building Code and the Canadian Standard Association and respect good engineering practices, including structural adequacy. When communication towers and facilities become obsolete and/or damaged and unrepaired, they shall be immediately removed and the development site reclaimed within 6 months of cessation of operation at the expense of the tower owner. Geotechnical report or engineered stamped foundation design to be submitted prior to construction, and an Alberta roadside development permit is required. Any questions?
You need some air after that, yeah. Any questions, council? If not, I'm just looking for a motion, council, please. Okay, thank you, Councillor Klug, for making the motion that council approves development permit application number 2026-D-158 for a 100-foot communication tower for operation control as discretionary use as Part 6 of the General Regulations and Part 7, Section 732 of the Land Use Bylaw with the following conditions before you, council, and I could not read them as good as she just did. Any discussion on this motion? Yes, Councillor Duchesne.
Just a quick question. The D&D never had any questions about the tower being in their flight line?
No.
No? That's good.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, seeing none, I'll call for the vote. Your screen working, Councillor Klug? That's carried. We're going to take a recess. We got to be back by 10 o'clock though. 8 minutes. Council, are we ready to go? Yes? All right. We're going into a public hearing, bylaw number LU 584, land use bylaw amendment, rezoning application. Before we begin the public hearing for bylaw number LU 584, Land Use Bylaw Amendment Rezoning Application, I'd like to announce that this public hearing will include both in-person and electronic participants as being recorded and will be accessible for public viewing. Additionally, I would like to remind in-person attendees who wish to address any of the public hearings on today's agenda to register your name on the speakers list at the entrance of the council chambers. I would also like to outline the process to be followed for this public hearing. We will begin with a staff report from administration, also presenting as the applicant, followed by questions of administration from council. We will then call upon members of the public who wish to speak in support of the application, followed by those who wish to speak in opposition of the application. Council may ask questions of the public presenters during this time only. Participants will be called on to speak in the order they appear on the registry list, starting with electronic participants, followed by in-person attendees. Registered virtual participants must ensure their camera is off and microphone muted, except when it's their turn to address council. When addressing council, participants must clearly state their name, if they are speaking on their own behalf or on behalf of other persons or group. The MD reserves the rights to immediately remove any participants who are continuously disruptive to public hearing, present in an inappropriate manner, including virtual attendees on camera, and or use inappropriate language. The applicant will have a chance to address and rebut any opposition to their application, following which council will have the opportunity to ask questions based solely on the information presented during the rebuttal. Finally, we will entertain any final questions from council to administration before closing the public hearing. May I have a motion to open public hearing? Thank you, Councillor Amalia, for making that motion to open public hearing at 10:08. Any discussion on this? I'm seeing none. I'll call for the vote, please. That's carried. Thank you. Looking for administration's presentation at this time.
Good morning.
Morning.
Administration received an application to amend the land use bylaw number LU 584, intends to rezone Plan 952-5202 Lot 1 and Plan 962-2448 Lot 2, both within Northwest 861-7 west of the 4th Meridian, from Rural Commercial District RC to Country Residential Resort District CR. Both parcels are currently zoned Rural Commercial District pursuant to bylaw number LU 121, adopted in 1989. The current and intended future use of Plan 952-5202 Lot 1 is Country Residential. Rezoning to the Country Residential District will bring the parcel zoning into compliance. The former use of Plan 962-2448 Lot 2 was rural commercial. The landowner intends to convert the former commercial structure into a residence. Therefore, rezoning to the Country Residential District is required. Public notification was completed in accordance with the Municipal Government Act. No submissions have been received. Bylaw number LU 584 was given first reading on June 23rd, 2026. The applicant, Mr. Yans, is present if council has any questions for him.
Thank you. Does anybody have any questions for administration? Any questions for the applicant? There is no written submissions that have been provided for the agenda package. I don't think there's anyone that wishes to speak here today. Any final questions of administration, council? All right, I'd like to close this public hearing at 1011, would someone like to make that motion? Thank you, Councillor Palmer, for making the motion that the public hearing for item 4.1, didn't even read it yet, but 4.1 bylaw LU 58 land use bylaw amendment rezoning application to be closed at 10:11 a.m. Any discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. That's carried. Thank you. On to 9.2.1.
Good morning, Council. I brought some backup today.
Yeah, pretty good backup. Good morning, gentlemen.
So with this, just give me a little background here. We are starting to see an increased amount of traffic coming into the airport. Last week alone, we had 31 commercial flights come in. So with this will help align us with other airports in Alberta. So what we're looking is administration is seeking council's approval of bylaw number 1942, which would amend the existing airport bylaw number 1936. Since bylaw number 1936 was adopted, administration has confirmed that community peace officers have the authority to lay bylaw charges against the registered owner of a vehicle in circumstances where they identify the driver, where the identity of the driver is unknown. While this is a common practice under the Traffic Safety Act, similar authority may also apply to the municipal bylaw violations, including offenses under the airport bylaw. The proposed amendment will clarify and support enforcement of the Alberta bylaw where vehicle-related offenses occur and the driver cannot be identified. So, discussions on the benefits, disadvantages. While community peace officers conduct routine and regular patrols at the airport, it's not possible to monitor the airport at all times to ensure compliance with the airport bylaw. By installing cameras in strategic locations and updating the bylaw to enhance enforcement capabilities, administration anticipates improving monitoring, increasing compliance, and better overall enforcement outcomes. Signage would also be updated to reflect these changes and to advise the public that the movement throughout the airport is subject to continuous monitoring. Attached for council review is Appendix A, bylaw number 1942, amending airport bylaw. Appendix B, documented edits of bylaw number 1936, airport bylaw. So administration would like to recommend that bylaw number 1942, being a bylaw of the Municipal District of Bonneville number 87, to amend the MD of Bonneville Regional Airport bylaw, be given first reading. And then we'd like to, for your options, that the bylaw number 1942, being a bylaw of Municipal District of Bonneville number 87, to amend the MD of Bonneville Regional Airport bylaw, be given first reading and carried.
Thank you. Someone like to make this motion? Thank you, Councillor DeShane, for making this motion. That bylaw number 1942 being a bylaw of the Municipal District of Bonneville number 87 to amend the MD of Bonneville Regional Airport bylaw be given first reading. I didn't have any gum in my mouth or anything. Any discussion on this, Council? Deputy Reeve Fadeev?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
thanks.
Yep.
So in regards to the old bylaw, which was 1936, what are the major differences in short to the old bylaw versus the new bylaw?
Excuse me, through the Reeve, the old bylaw essentially was missing a few definitions that we wanted to include. When we're looking at charging the registered owner of a vehicle with an offense, we have to clearly identify what a registered owner is in terms of the interpretation of the bylaw. Same thing with a vehicle. Is a vehicle a bicycle? Is it a motorcycle? Things like that. So we had to tighten up that a little bit because under Section 160 of the Traffic Safety Act, as I said, or as Jesse said, we are allowed to charge registered owners. So we had to tighten up the definitions of registered owner, of a vehicle, cameras, things like that, so that we could include those new options in the bylaw.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions on this motion? I thought you said, Deputy Reeve, 1936. You probably said 1986. Any other discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote, please. Or did you say 96? You did? That's carried. Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen. On to 9.3.1. You guys look very familiar. Get comfortable then.
All right. Administration is requesting a decision for first reading of roadway license bylaw number 1939, authorizing the MD of Bonnyville to enter into an agreement to license the roadway as described in Appendix A, and in accordance with policy number 3A.018, to be used to deter the public from driving into the subdivision through the use of one gate to remain unlocked, per the policy, across the no-exit roadway. All landowners of the properties along the roadway licensing area have executed the application and shall be noted as licensees in the associated bylaw and roadway licensing agreement. If land ownership is to change, the application will need to be resubmitted with all landowners in agreement. A copy of the roadway license agreement application was provided to internal departments for review and recommendation, and there were no concerns. Administration is recommending that council give first reading to bylaw number 1939.
Thank you. Councillor Palmer.
Through the Reeve. I have some concerns, obviously. Is the road registered through the subdivision approved along with the subdivision? It's a registered road?
Through the Reeve, it is a registered road plan.
So one of my concerns is looking at policy 3A.018, in reading the statement, it says that the MD recognizes there's some benefits derived from agricultural, industrial pursuits and licensing of roadways. No reference to residential subdivision roads. So this, for me, does not fit. Ultimately, where is it here, roadway? So which portion of the roadway are they intending to have a gate unlocked?
It would be directly along Range Road 471.
So where the clearly states in the bylaw itself that you cannot lock the roadways. Concern number 2. The other concern I have is in their application, they've made reference, the redacted application, which is Appendix B. The reason why they are making this application is to limit traffic, including motorcycles, quads, off-road vehicles, traffic not required in the subdivision. So that's where I'm really wavering as to who decides that, who administers that, who polices that. I think we are opening ourselves up to where our policing should be where it belongs with our peace officers. Every subdivision in the MD area, especially Ward 2, has the same concerns. And I do not feel this is the best approach in addressing those concerns. I think we need to bring it back to our peace officer department through our general manager, Louis Gandolfi. We need to bring this to a policing level, not where you have ratepayers policing. We're going to have a gun show down there. It's just not the greatest approach. I think it needs to go where it belongs, and that's to the Peace Officer Department. That's my opinion.
All right, thank you. Any other comments, or like someone like to make a motion, or? Counselor Palmer?
I'd like to make the motion for 2, that the bylaw 1939 of the MD of Bonnyville roadway licensee be given, not given first reading, to be not approved.
Okay, we'll wait for that motion to come up.
Mr. Reeve, if I may, if council wishes to not action this bylaw, your options are to make the motion to give first reading and it be defeated,
Yep,
to table the bylaw, which would mean we do nothing, or to just accept it as information, which again, as per the procedure bylaw, kind of indirectly tells administration to do nothing.
thank you for that.
I will note, accepting it as information is a little more vague. It's a little bit harder for administration to explain to an applicant why they're not doing anything. But those would probably be the options for proceeding if council does not wish to proceed with the bylaw.
All right, thank you.
So, a question to Stephanie through the Reeve. So if we were to make the motion to approve first reading, what is the process to defeat that first reading?
If council defeats the motion to give the bylaw first reading, the bylaw dies then at that point.
So I will, I want to defeat the motion. I don't want to make the motion to approve.
Well, someone else can do it.
Yeah. I remove my motion.
Counselor DeShane?
Oh, sorry, I was interrupted. I just, wouldn't option 4 give us what we need for this reading?
Well, she just gave us the options just a second ago.
A motion to postpone would be, I guess, just putting pause on the bylaw, and as per the motion, we would request a date for council that they would want us to bring it back by, if you're wanting more information. Like I said, if you're wanting to kind of not proceed with the bylaw, another option is to just table, and it would be tabled indefinitely, unless in accordance with the procedure bylaw, council ever chooses to lift it from the table.
Go ahead, Deputy Reeve Fadev.
Yeah, I just wanted to let Councilor Palmer know that you can vote against your motion as well. So even though you make the motion, doesn't mean you have to be in favor of it.
Okay, so I make the motion for first reading.
Thank you. Thank you, Counselor Palmer, for making this motion, that bylaw number 1939, being a bylaw of the Municipal District of Bonnyville, number 87, roadways and license be given first reading. Any discussion? Yes, Deputy Reeve Fadev.
Just to make Councilor Palmer feel like she's not alone on there, I have voted against my own motion once before, so it has happened. But yeah, I mean, you know, restricting access is just not the way we've done it in the past, and I agree with the motion.
Thank you. Any other discussion on this motion? I'm seeing none. I'll call for the vote, please. That's defeated. Thank you. On to 9.3.2, please.
Item number 9.3.2, administration is requesting a decision for first reading of bylaw number 1940, being a bylaw to repeal bylaw number 1545, the Twin Creeks Area Structure Plan located on Southeast 10, 61-6, west of the 4th Meridian. bylaw number 1545 was adopted in 2014 to guide future multi-lot country residential development of the parcel. The registered owner no longer intends to develop the lands as contemplated and wishes to return the property to agricultural use. If first reading is carried, a public hearing will be scheduled and advertised, and adjacent landowners and interested parties will be notified. Administration is recommending that council give first reading to bylaw number 1940.
Thank you. Counselor Klug?
I recommend we give first reading.
Thank you, Counselor Klug, for making this motion. That bylaw number 1940 being a bylaw of the municipal district of Bonneville number 87 to repeal bylaw number 1545 Twin Creeks Area Structure Plan be given first reading. Any discussion on this, council? I'm seeing none. I'll call for the vote, please. That's carried. Thank you. On to 9.3.3.
Item number 9.3.3, administration received an application to amend the land use bylaw. Bylaw number LU 583 proposes to rezone a 3-acre portion of Plan 1420179, Block 1, Lot 10, within Northeast 1564-3, west of the 4th Meridian, from Country Residential District CR2 to Country Residential District CR1. The rezoning is required to satisfy a condition of conditionally approved subdivision file 2026-6-S-005. The proposed parcel falls within the parcel size parameters of Country Residential District CR1. Bylaw number LU 583 received first reading on June 9th, and a public hearing was held on July 14th. No members of the public attended either in person or virtually. Administration is recommending that council give second and third reading to bylaw number LU 583.
Thank you. Counselor Klug?
I recommend we give second and third reading, please.
All right, we'll do second first. All right, thank you, Counselor Klug, for making this motion. The bylaw number LU 583 being a bylaw of the municipal district of Bonneville number 87 to amend bylaw number 1915 land use bylaw be given second reading. Any discussion, council, on this? I'm seeing none. I'll call for the vote, please. That's carried. Thank you. Looking for third. Thank you, Councillor Palmer, for making the motion that bylaw number LU 53 be given third reading. Is there any discussion, council, on this third reading? I'm seeing none. I'll call for the vote, please. That's carried. Thank you. On to 9.3.4.
Item number 9.3.4, administration received an application and is requesting a decision for first reading of bylaw number LU 585 to amend the land use bylaw by rezoning Southeast 10-616 west of the 4th Meridian from Country Residential District CR1 to Agricultural District. This is in conjunction with the repealing of the Twin Creeks Area Structure Plan. The registered owner, again, intends to return the lands to agricultural use as they have no interest in developing the property as contemplated under the existing zoning. Southeast 10-616 west of the 4th Meridian was rezoned to Country Residential District CR1 in 2012 pursuant to bylaw number LU 510. A copy of the rezoning application was provided to Infrastructure Services, Agricultural Services, and Public Safety for review and recommendation, and there were no concerns. If first reading is granted, a public hearing will be scheduled and advertised in accordance with the Municipal Government Act. Administration is recommending that bylaw number LU 585 be given first reading.
Thank you. Councillor Deschênes, Councillor Palmer, Councillor Deschênes. All right, thank you, Councillor Deschênes, for making this motion that bylaw number LU 585 being a bylaw of the Municipal District of Bonneville number 87 to amend bylaw number 1915 land use bylaw be given first reading. Any discussion, council? I'm seeing none. I'm going to call for the vote. That's carried. Thank you. On to 9.3.5.
Administration has been working on the development of a General Municipal Servicing Standards, GMSS document to establish clear, consistent, and technically sound requirements for the design and construction of municipal infrastructure associated with development in the MD. The GMSS is intended to function as a single consolidated reference document for developers, engineers, landowners, and stakeholders. It brings together minimum servicing standards, application requirements, and summaries of existing municipal policies related to development and infrastructure. The draft GMSS was prepared with assistance from SEMA Plus Canada, with data compiled and reviewed by relevant municipal departments. It was presented at the April 21st, 2026 Committee of the Whole meeting, where the committee recommended that the document be adopted by council. A few minor clerical amendments have since been completed. If approved by council, the GMSS will be made available to landowners, stakeholders, and developers, and will be publicly available on the MD website. Administration is recommending that council adopt the Municipal District Number 87 General Municipal Servicing Standards, GMSS, as presented.
Thank you. Councillor Palmer.
Through the Reeve, just more of a comment. Having worked in this area considerably, I am very thankful. Is this our first document that we've ever had that we can give out to our developers, people that are doing construction, that sort of thing?
Through the Reeve, as compiled in this nature, this completely, yes.
That creates unbelievable transparency for people doing business in the MD of Bonnyville, so kudos. Great job.
I just can't believe Caroline didn't think of this years ago. Sorry. All right, would someone like to make a motion now? She's going to make it too. Thank you, Councillor Palmer. Sorry about the jab there. I'll get it back later. That council adopts Municipal District of Bonnyville number 87 General Municipal Servicing Standards, GMSS, as presented. Any discussion, council? I'm not seeing any. I'm going to call for the vote. Carried. Thank you. Thank you, ladies. Great job. Yeah, awesome. Well, I'm going to put two young men on the spot here. So Mr. Danyanko and Mr. Kutkowski, you guys come up to the chairs for a second. I don't know, but I'm going to put them on the spot a bit, I think. Press your mics. Tell me your life story. No. I'll let my CAO say something, and then we'll hear some comments from these young men.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So as a high-performing organization, we evolved in the last year and a half, and one of the great things we evolved is having mentoring programs in the Shadow Program. As everybody know, when young men, young women leave our community for post-secondary, they decide when are they going to come back, or is there a better opportunity someplace else? With a doubt, we're grooming our future, and our future starts with all the young people that come back for the summer. They care about what they do. They have roots here and local people like we have in front of us, and we encourage them to see the other side of the municipality. And these two fine individuals, like a lot in the field, want to know what it takes to be on the administration side, what it takes to be on the equipment side. So I'm going to hand this off to Ian. The individuals are from their department, and then I look forward to these young individuals expressing their excitement and what part of education they're interested in and what brings them back to us.
Good morning, Council.
Morning.
So today we have two of our finest from Parks and Glendon in front of us. And as CEO was saying, that this mentorship in growing local and bringing back and then them succeeding back within the community at the MD level is important. I met Riley last year as he was just heading back to school for supply chain management. And we got him linked up with our asset management group and had a day with them and kind of just saw what that was all about. And then once again, with more opportunities coming, now they all want to be a CAO. So away we go. So
We can make that happen real quick, I think.
sorry, CAO.
Did you notice he laughed quite loud on that one? Yeah.
And then Dalton is in marketing and has shown some really good interest in that. And once again, whether, we had a presentation today and they discussed marketing and the value of marketing within a municipality and then internally with marketing. So these young people are seeing a lot of great opportunities locally where they can stay at home, be a part of the community, give back to the community. And very proud of both of these guys and other summer students that we have. We've got so many success stories. We have another lady in Parks that's going to Lac La Biche to become a peace officer. We've got others that are just taking these opportunities that the MD has and are going to get trained and bring the talent home. So with that, Dalton's the speaker of the group, so I'm going to let him start, and then Riley's going to say a few things. Go ahead,
Alrighty.
Dalton.
Hello, I'm Dalton. I go to MacEwan for marketing, like Ian said. Yeah, I'd just like to say thank you, first off, for giving us this opportunity to come here and see how everything works. It is truly eye-opening because we are the people that are, not at the bottom necessarily, but we are the people that kind of do the work, and coming here and seeing how everything is done and how professional it really is nice to see that you guys take, so much care of everything. I have worked here for 5 years now, 5 summers. Originally I was in agriculture, and then I moved to Parks. And I have to say, it is probably the best summer job a student can ask for. I have a lot of friends that are in many different jobs, and yeah, this is, I don't know, from all the stories that I've heard at least, I think that, yeah, just you guys treat everyone very good. Yeah.
Thank you.
There you go.
I guess myself next. My name is Riley. This is my 3rd summer here. I'm also going to MacEwan for supply chain management, and basically the same thing that Dalton said, but I'm very happy to see that you guys do things like the shadow program to help give people like us an experience to see what is going on. That's about all I gotta say.
Thank you. Yeah, just like you said, myself and council and myself is a better way to say it. We're extremely proud of anyone that's from our area going anywhere and trying to, we're very proud of all our summer students, and you're the first 2 that I've ever seen come in and actually come into council that I remember. So that's just thank you to our CEO and whoever's involved in getting you guys to come into a council meeting. That is just awesome. The more young people that we have and want to be in with the MD, and the better, or whatever job you're going to take in the MD. To have our youth stay here and be in our area and start their families here is key. So thank you, gentlemen, and you did very well coming up in cold turkey like that. So I appreciate it. And whoever works for us, the summer students and the rest of the staff, we're very proud of each and every one of you, no matter what little or great you're doing here. So awesome. Thank you. Any questions from councils while we have them on the hot seat? Yeah, Dan. Malia.
Yeah, well, I'm really glad to see that both chosen representatives to come forward this morning are from Ward 3.
You're starting to sound like Mike more and more here. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're saying that we shouldn't have anybody from Ward 3 anymore? Is that what you're saying?
Well,
That's enough?
I mean, if that's the best ones and you might wanna bring 'em up.
Oh.
No, welcome here, guys. I must say that I know the parents' generation a little better than I know their generation, but yeah, it's really good to see the young people coming up through the MD, living in the MD, and then finding jobs and hopefully careers here at with the MD of Bonnyville. And so it's really good to see you guys. I'm glad to like I said, I knew who you were all along, but can't see we formally met necessarily. So it's, yeah, really good, and congratulations and welcome to our program.
Thank you. Councillor Palmer, to save us, guys.
I think it is great that we are doing this mentorship. You cannot go to school and decide that you're going to be a CAO and you're going to just take your 2-year courses and slide into that role. The beauty of municipal government is that there is training, there is education, but there's also experience. Hands-on experience is what brings municipalities forward as to what is great for your municipality and what isn't, and understanding that from the bottom level, as you said, and working your way up and understanding how everything clicks together. So mentorship is an amazing way to approach it, so good for you too.
Thank you.
And good for the municipality for allowing this kind of mentorship program.
Thank you. Any other comments or? All right, 2 thumbs up, gentlemen. You did very well. Very proud of you. Have a great rest of the day. 9.4.1. Mr. Bespalko.
Through the reeve to all of council, good morning. I'd like to say that I'm one of the young ones, but I guess my gray hair doesn't allow me to pass for one.
We could give you some helium. And,
Hi, how you doing?
Make you sound real young.
Today, I'm here in front of council in regards to property tax penalty cancellation of the July 1st, 2026 penalty. Council has requested administration to prepare a request for decision to cancel the July 1st, 2026 penalties levied for only the portions of outstanding taxes levied attributable to outstanding current year property tax levies for properties assessed in the residential and farmland assessment classes and the small business assessment subclass, which falls within the non-residential assessment class of property assessments. Section 347 of the Municipal Government Act establishes a council's authority to cancel all or part of a tax. As per direction from council, council's intention is to cancel the July 1st, 2026 penalties levied for only the portions of outstanding tax levies attributable to outstanding current year property tax levies for the following property assessment class subclass. So for the residential class, the farmland class, and the small business subclass of the non-residential class. If council goes forward with this, administration's recommendation is for the following wording: that council approves the cancellation of penalties levied on July 1st, 2026, only to the extent those penalties were calculated on outstanding current year levies attributable to the residential and farmland assessment classes and the small business property tax subclass, including where a tax roll includes multiple assessment classes. The cancellation shall be applied only to the penalty amount proportionately attributable to the eligible residential, farmland, and small business levy components.
Thank you. Councillor Palmer.
Through the reef to Cal, just a bit of clarity. So we don't have another tax levy date, do we? Versus the end of the year?
Through the chair, the tax levy date for the actual levy is usually going to be someplace in the latter part of May every year. Now, the penalty portion.
Sorry, yeah, penalty portion.
Yeah, the penalty portion, the next penalty is going to be March 1st. And that penalty is for any outstanding arrears. So any taxes that were left unpaid as of March 1st. So there'll be another penalty levy at that date. Yeah. Now, the caveat to all of that is as we make revisions throughout the year on assessments, when those levies are created, so there'll be one probably coming out on Friday or next Monday or Tuesday, they have 30 days to pay. If they don't pay in those 30, after the 30 days, there is a specific penalty levy on those ones, which falls under the same bylaw. It's just they have 30 days to pay from the date that we send out the levy.
I'm not sure I'm fully grabbing that, Calvin. So I'm going to maybe put it out in my words. Anyone that did not make the June 30th date, we are removing those penalties, correct?
In this motion, it would be removing the penalties for the portion of the outstanding levy that was based on an assessment that was residential, assessment that's farmland, or an assessment that is small business defined. So the other non-residential ones would still have the penalties on it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other questions, or someone like to make the motion? All right, thank you, Councillor DeShane, for making the motion for option 1. That council approves the cancellation of penalty levies on July 1st, 2026, only to extend those penalties were calculated on outstanding current year levies attributable to residential and farmland assessment classes and the small business property tax subclass, including the tax rolls, including multiple assessment classes, and the cancellation shall apply only to the penalties amount proportionately attributable to the eligible residents, farm, land, and small business levy components. Any discussion on this motion? Deputy Reeve Fadeev.
Yeah, just more of a comment saying thanks to our administration for pivoting to get this done. I know there's been some comments from, the business community, and I think we've pivoted quite well, and we worked well together on this. So again, to you and your team, thank you very much.
Yeah, ditto. Thank you. Any other comments? Any other discussion? I'm seeing none. I'm going to call for the vote. That's carried. Thank you.
Thank you, Council. Have a good day.
Yeah, you as well. 9.5.1.
Good morning, Reeve and Council.
Morning.
So today, the MD Bonnyville has experienced significant persistent rainfall throughout the 2026 growing season. So rainfall accumulation to date has been 22.68 inches of moisture, resulting in saturated soils, standing water in fields, and delayed field access and widespread impacts to agricultural operations throughout the MD. So producers are reporting challenges with haying, silaging, spraying, crop maintenance, and pasture management, and general field operations with excessive moisture has resulted in delayed and reduced hay forage harvest. So concerns with feed quality, increased disease pressure in crops, and reduced confidence in crop yield and harvestability coming up by the end of the month into September. So the purpose of this declaration is to request that Council declares a declaration of agricultural disaster within the MD of Bonnyville due to excessive rainfall and resulting impacts to local agricultural producers. So the municipal declaration does not automatically trigger funding funding or compensation to agriculture producers. However, it is formally communicates the severity of local agricultural conditions to the province of Alberta and supports continued monitoring and advocacy for the affected producers. So some of the benefits and disadvantages, by formally recognizing the severity of the excess rainfall impacts the MD, we provide a clear communication to Alberta Agriculture and Irrigation regarding our local conditions. We support the advocacy for the provincial and federal assessment for agricultural impacts, assist in documenting conditions affected by affecting the crop, forage, and livestock producers, and demonstrate support for our local agricultural producers experience operational and financial stress. And provide a formal basis of correspondence with the Minister of Agriculture and Irrigation. Some of the disadvantages of declaring: the declaration does not guarantee financial assistance or active automatic compensation in any programs that the province has or the federal government. Sometimes public expectations may need to be carefully managed because regarding with municipal declaration can and cannot provide. And then conditions may vary across the municipality, with some producers experiencing worse conditions than others. So administration is still recommending proceeding with the declaration due to the severity and extent of the rainfall. So.
Thank you. Councillor Amalia.
Thank you, Matt, through the Reeve to Matt and CAO and others for working on this and putting this together on short notice. Thank you for the information that can be brought forward, and as we can hopefully work towards, as you said, this won't trigger anything directly, but it is a declaration. It shows our support, and it can put pressure up on other levels of government to recognize what is happening and step up for what they can do. So yeah, I would like to speak that just my own observation and hearing anecdotally and just knowing what the conditions are. At one time it was just a matter of, well, we lose some acres in the spring, we'll see, so you simply get, like you said, a 10, maybe 20% loss, but the ongoing rain is what is continuing to make it worse and worse. What is in the field is not always able to be accessed. What we thought might not be able to dry down for bales, for forage, is turning, and thinking you could do silage instead, is turning into something that you can't even get your silage equipment into the fields. And so it's the ongoing rain, as you said, 23 inches accumulated so far. And yeah, this is beyond simply a wet spring. It's a wet summer, and that is affecting everything, whether it is forage farming, cattle. There's pastures that are inaccessible to cows just simply because how much water is on them, and the cultivated and field crops as well. So it's affecting all areas of farming in our area, and I thank you for your work in putting this together, and I would like to sponsor whatever motion is required to move forward with this.
Thank you. Well said. Thank you, Councillor Amalia, for making this motion that council declares the municipal agricultural disaster in the municipal district of Bonneville, number 87, and furthermore that council directs administration to provide information that's stated in the Rural Municipal of Alberta Guide for declaring municipal agricultural disaster to the following: Alberta Minister of Agriculture and Irrigation, Agriculture Financial Services Corp, AFSC, and Rural Municipal of Alberta Army. Any discussion on this? Did I forget something, Caroline?
We have a typo. Slide for declaring.
Yeah, we're just on a tour in the MD, and we went to a pumpkin patch, and over half of the pumpkin patch got drowned out. And then it's the first time in my whole life that I went to Lara, and we couldn't go through the fields with the buses because we'd be still there probably pushing. So that shows you right there, just two little examples of how wet it is. Yes, Councillor DeShane.
Yeah, further comment on that. I was driving the roads and checking out our ward and was watching a herd of heifer cattle swimming across probably 200 yards of water trying to get to the other side of their pasture. Like well, they shouldn't have been swimming, but they had no choice to get to their feed. So have to get a hold of that farmer and ask him if he needs bridging or something.
I think if we had a plane and we got up in a plane, we'd really, you can go down the roads all you want, but when you get up in the air, the devastation is probably that much greater because you could cover a lot more area and see a lot more from the air, so. Anyway, any other discussion on this motion? Thank you. We're gonna call for the vote. That's carried, thank you. We're gonna take a little break and then we'll finish off or do you guys want a break? Yeah, okay, I'm gonna take a break. Council, ready to go? We're good? Thank you. I think we're going into correspondence right now, is that correct? Thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and all of council. Under 10, correspondence and information. We have 17 items, and I would like to review 10.14. Under 10.14, we received a thank you letter from Bonneville Museum and board and staff. It's this kind of stuff that shows communities connected. When council takes care of a special interest group, whatever they might be, a quick thank you back to us shows that we're recognized, and it also indicates to us why we're part of this community. That is the only correspondence I have.
Yes, go ahead, Councillor Palmer.
If I could intervene, I have actually 4 of them that I'd like to go over, if that's okay. 10.4, the letter from the Summer Village of Pelican Arrows. We have an active ICF with these summer villages. So this request, we technically should be dealing through the ICF negotiation, not as an information only.
Okay.
So we'll maybe have that brought forward because the 2 summer villages will need to be negotiated prior to 2027 like everybody else.
Thank you.
Then 10.5. Did anybody, this is a survey invitation, and if it was sent to all of us, that's great. I must have missed it, but did we fill out that survey? Did anyone fill it out?
I did not.
No? So this is an RMA task force, is what it is. So we should fill it out, technically, because they're asking us for our opinions on our quasi-judicial boards.
Yeah, it usually comes out through the newsletter. I don't know if you get newsletters from them. But if you fill it out, if you go on their website, you can get the newsletters that come directly to you.
Because we had 2 this week.
Yeah, I try to fill out every survey that comes out with them.
Okay, so
But,
just to go on their board, on their website?
Yeah, and then
register.
just fill out the request to get that, and then you'll get that all the time.
Perfect. And then 10.6. Were we intending to respond to this letter at all? And the letter is, or the email, sorry, the National Police Federation? Or are we just going to leave it as information only? I realize it is obviously information only. Merit to responding to that? With the funding model that they're coming out with? Just asking.
Go ahead.
Mr. Chair, it would be the decision of council to respond on this item.
So throw it out there. And then 10.9, the orphans.
Well,
So there's an issue with transparency between oil and gas and abandoned and orphaned wells. My request would be that we administration receives from this organization a detailed description of which wells that they are reclaiming, so we have it in our land file. So we're issuing building permits or development of any kind, we know what's underground. What happens here is there is no tracking mechanism because the minute it's reclaimed, it's taken off the title. There is no caveat on title for that well because it's met its requirements of reclamation. And then we have no recourse to have any kind of history when we're building or issuing out building permits, that we should have some kind of a tracking mechanism in our cadastre even, or in our land file, that kind of thing, our filing system for future reference. Because we're going to have what happened to town of Bonnyville.
If I can just quickly comment on that one.
Go ahead, and then Counselor DeShane.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that's actually RMA did one like that as well. So they should have some more updates, and everything could be found through the ARE? No.
ARB.
ARB.
AUR.
Yeah, so every single well that's been drilled is all on there.
Wouldn't it be when
have a map.
there'd be a map of it?
Yeah,
I don't know, I'm asking.
Yeah, they
Well,
have
there
that,
has to
of
be,
course,
because-
We get some kind of,
they do have.
Well, there
all
has
maps.
to be a map when they drilled the
this
gas,
letter
so.
specifically states the ones that they are doing within the MD right now, which is not really a hardship if we got a copy of it.
But when you have a copy of when it was developed,
When it was reclaimed,
yeah, but
the
we would still have
reclamation
a,
certificate.
still have a copy that it was there at the beginning. It's like you're stating that once it's gone, there's no more record of it, but there have to be a record of it to begin with,
Where?
wherever.
ARE.
Any.
AER.
AR.
Thank
There
you.
we go.
Yeah, they have all.
They
every
have all
single-
these records of when they start.
So
There's a
it's
map.
only to make sure that our planning department has access to those records when they're doing their background on building and development.
Okay. Counselor DeShane, you wanted to?
Are the wells not plotted on land titles, the Provincial Land Titles Act?
No, they're only registered on an actual title because it's a lease through a caveat. That caveat is on there as long as they have an interest on that quarter or that parcel of land.
So you're saying the province would issue a building permit on a existing well site, knowing that there's a well site underneath it?
No, what I'm saying is we issue the building permits here.
But
if we don't
we
know-
deal with the provincial government on land titles, surveys and stuff?
Kind of confusing both there, Ed. Ultimately, when a well is done through the oil and gas, we're not involved in any of that process. The only thing that we're aware of is the fact that it's registered as a caveat on a title if we search a title,
Right.
because their interests are covered. But once they're done drilling and that well, same through the orphan or through the actual company that owns the well, once it's past the reclamation and there's a reclamation certificate given, that caveat is taken off the title. So if you're only researching current title, you're not going to know there was a well on that site unless you do a historical title, which has a pretty big price tag if you do it all the time. All I'm saying is if we had a record in our electronic filing system that there was a reclamation certificate issued, then it's a no-brainer.
But
I don't,
I thought since we've had the problem in the town of Bonnyville with that, I thought the Land Titles Act would cover that and protect the people from building on a sterilized land from cut-off well casings and pipelines and stuff.
They don't, because it's not an actual title that they issue, the oil companies, it's a lease. So
Well, we-
leases are covered under caveats on a title.
we can look into this and bring it back. Can you do that, please?
Administration thinks it's a great question. We will check into the
Yeah,
database and
that's the
happy to bring
best,
it back.
because we're all kind of stabbing here in the dark, I think,
I'm
Right.
not.
except for Caroline.
It always-
Caroline knows exactly what's going on. The rest of us do not. Caroline, you have any more?
Thank you.
You sure?
Yeah,
Anyone else?
10.9.
I'm just looking for a motion then for correspondence and information. Council, please. Councillor DeShane, think you're good? All right. Thank you, Councillor DeShane, for making a motion that council accepts the following correspondence as information, 1 through 17. Any discussion on this motion? I'm seeing none by council. I'll call for the vote. That's carried. Thank you. I guess we'll move to reports from members of council at this moment. Caroline?
Yeah, I can go ahead. It's been a little on the quiet side, but ultimately the beautiful 2026 beautification tour that we went on was an eye-opener for me. We had 2 big busloads of people on the tour where we got to meet a lot of people in the community. And one lady said to me, where can you spend $26 and get this? So it was great. So we got to visit the winner for the quarter section beautification as well as the acreage. The acreage they both were amazing. The acreage was very manicured, where the farm one had a wedding venue on it and had all the petting zoo animals. That brings quite a bit of entertainment. As well, again, we went to the Charlotte Farms and unfortunately weren't able to see a whole lot because their pumpkins were pretty much non-existent this year. Had good conversation with them and what they do. From there, we went to Kinnasoo for lunch and then came back to Lara. We walked through the greenhouse and we were literally in water within the greenhouse. So that really tells you how high and recharged our water levels are. It was a great experience. So there, that's all I have
Thank you.
that I can think of.
Councillor Malia, please.
Okay, yeah, I guess the last meeting or committee of the whole, I was away down in Strathmore at the Provincial Ag Service Board tours, and that was something to see just on the drive down and back, and then spending the time driving around the county down there and just seeing the varying conditions across the province. But yeah, some areas are dry, but definitely the further north you come, the wetter it got. But that was a really good tour and a lot of different things to see there and learn. The usual meetings and committee meetings. August 1st weekend, the long weekend, I was at Haying in the 30s, and along with some others from council, helping out with serving the beef on a bun supper on the Saturday, and then I was again back there on the Sunday for a little more time. But yeah, and Caroline already talked about, but I was also on the MD Rural Beautification Tour, and it was a really good tour. It's my first time ever being on there. I've heard a lot about it, but I just never made the tour until this year. So yeah, it was really good to see all the different things and the way the different things in the MD, not just in developed yard sites, but also just the different little businesses here and there, and the all the little snippets being read out on the as the bus drove through the MD, even places we didn't stop. So yeah, it was really good, and I enjoyed that day. In addition to that, there was a few other things to mention. One was we had few virtual meetings, Bill 28, but I was going to mention the one we had in here a week or so ago about with Alberta Ag and some others to do with the strychnine use in this and trying to get an extension or change the boundaries of the federal exemption for use of strychnine in our area. And in some ways it was a good discussion conversation, but in some ways it didn't really feel like it's going to be very productive. There's some mines in the system that seem to be quite made up. Some on a provincial level, their hands are also tied from the federal level too, so I understand that. But I think we have to keep pushing for it, keep advocating, see what we can do, but it's going to be an uphill struggle the whole way. In addition to that, I guess we got an email, so I kind of thought it was showing up in the correspondence, but it didn't. But the Rolling Barrage is coming to Bonnyville this weekend. They'll be rolling in on Sunday. And so, yeah, council got the email, so I just like to make mention of the event that's coming. The MD is helping out with their Monday afternoon event. Gates open at 4 p.m. and MD is helping out with some picnic tables and things like that at the Bonnyville Museum. So Rolling Barrage is it's a motorcycle ride. The short and simple is it's yearly coast-to-coast motorcycle ride across Canada to create awareness and raise funds that assist other nonprofits and charities with their efforts in mental health for veterans and the first responder community. And so this year, they're looking at, they normally have about 20, 25 riders that'll do what they call the full pull, dip their tires in the Atlantic Ocean to start and work their way across Canada until they hit the Pacific. And this year is their 10th ride, and they're expecting well over 100 that are doing the full cross-country ride, plus all the riders that come in for a day or two or a week or so in different sections of it. So Sunday afternoon, they'll be pulling into Bonnyville. Bonnyville is one of 2 places across the country that they're actually taking an extra day. They've done that for a couple of years now, and they enjoy doing that here. And so I'm proud of the Bonnyville, town of Bonnyville, MD of Bonnyville, proud of this area for being their choice to do that. And so Sunday afternoon, we'll have probably in the neighborhood of 150 motorcycles coming into town. And for riders, there is, posters are up, you can see, and you can join in, go meet them in Vermilion and ride with them into town. But for everyone else in general, again, the posters are up, the Hog Wild at the museum, starting 4 o'clock Monday throughout the evening with the pulled pork supper and other options available. And you can see the information there. And then they're pulling out of Bonnyville on Tuesday morning. So yeah, like I said, there's posters up around. I've supported them for a few years now. I've ridden with them short ways, and then last year for about 3 days, and I plan to go again next week when they leave Bonnyville for another 3 days, and then make my way back after. But yeah, it's a really good ride for a really good cause, and I think I'm glad that the MD is willing to work with and support them in what they do.
Thank you. Deputy Reeve?
Yeah, thanks. No committee reports to present. All the committees are on summer leave, but everything was mentioned, ASB tour, the Alberta Ag Irrigation Zoom meeting we had. Seemed like there was a lot of talk, but I don't think there's going to be any action happening on that. And then just Glendon Parade was great. Yeah, it was, had a pancake breakfast. The Reeve was there bright and early, trying to get his the left side of the grill, but instead he got the right side of the grill, which doesn't cook the best pancakes, but yeah, so it's all good. Maybe next year.
Maybe.
So, yeah, and again, hosted by, again, there was burgers were hosted by the Glendon Fire guys, and yeah, that was really good. So another thing I want to talk to council about and get your permission is to apply for RMA has a justice member, they're going to have a justice member committee that's going to be talking about rural, I guess, the rural justice that's been, I guess, an issue on the federal side. So it was based on a resolution that the RMA did, and they're looking for members. I presented it to either Councillor Palmer or myself to join, and basically all they're looking for is support from council in the letter. And they pay mileage if you have meetings and all that stuff, but yeah, so just wanted to see if we can get either put. Pardon me? They don't pay per diems, correct. That's the reason they want a letter of support. So, yeah, so I'm willing to step up on that one. I think it's good for our area with all the challenges we had with rural crime to be on the committee and to voice our opinions on that. Yeah, so meetings are once a month, Zoom or online, so.
And you're willing to do this?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you bet.
I don't think council have a problem with that.
Yeah, so if we can get that going, that'd be great.
Right on.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Klug.
No committees to report on, but did take part in Hay in the 30s and the Glendon Parade. I'd like to thank all council and staff members that took part. It was a great opportunity to meet people, and I think there's a lot of happy kids in Glendon and all that, but it was a real good time. It's good to see everybody out there.
Thank you. Yeah. I thought next year we're going to have to put sponsored by a dental thing on our back of our shirts as we're walking around.
Yeah.
Councillor DeShane.
Thank you to the Reeve. Yes, last thing we attended was the Ag Service Board in Strathmore conference and got to visit some unique sites and people and got some learning in as we were touring around. They have a major solar farm right beside Strathmore, and it is quite a unique place, producing enough power to keep certain things going, I guess. But they make it part of their agriculture, and they keep bees inside that area, and they pasture sheep and a certain brand of pigs to keep the grass down in between the units, so they keep it farmed properly. And we did some site visits to irrigation valving stations, canals, and they explained a lot of the stuff there. A very expensive land in that area because of the irrigation, and people are quite lucky to have it in that area. Not that they needed it this year. They said they were very minimal use because of the rain. So, but high quality crops, and we got to visit the crop dusters in that family business in that area, one of the bigger ones. And they got 4 or 5 planes and toured us of their site and the area and pointed out one of the crops they were going to spray that while we were there. A canola crop that had been hailed out, 3 or 4 times. It was interesting, and it came right back. Pretty resilient crop, and they were going to spray it because they figured it would survive. So interesting things like that. A good family business, a long time. And so we got to visit a lot of good people there and visit a great big seed cleaning plant, supplies that whole area. So good learning curve there to what they got in place. Visited a young lady, family that raises, can't remember if they're Hungarian or Romanian pigs. She was quite interesting lady to deal with and show off her wares and her animals. She has quite the postcard advertising her animals. So I won't explain that one, but
Now you all have us wondering, except for Danny here.
we'll pass that card around. Yeah, I was glad to be part of the Glendon Parade with the group. That was fun. Sounds like they probably will send up a dentist office in that area. We handed an unbelievable amount of candy and goodies, and what a crowd. I couldn't believe it. It was great. It was awesome to be part of that. So thanks for the invite, and thank you for all that. That's all I have.
Yeah, I was at the parade and such, but on behalf of the fire department, so I guess it kind of slipped my mind when I was doing my MD reports here. But yeah, I'd like to thank the MD for all the support. I guess I can't speak directly on behalf of the village or on behalf of the Derby and the Ag Society, but yeah, just from the fire department, just for the support at our barbecue. And yeah, I know the kids really loved the Reeve and his wagon full, literally full of candy that they could just go grab a handful here and there. And yeah, so thanks for how many of you guys were able to show up and be there and be part of it with us that day. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Council, for the reports. You guys pretty well covered. I did the tour as well. I don't know how many people thanked me personally. Thank you, and I go, hey, it's the staff that does the majority of the work. We kind of show up and go along with the tour just like anyone else, but the staff, it was well done. Every I and every T was dotted and crossed. So wherever we showed up, everything went very smoothly. So I'd like to big thank you to all the staff members that had a lot to do with that. I got a kudos to Caroline. She was on my bus. It was a very big positive because she knows a lot of little details that I would never know. So there was a lot of little information things that she could really, tell the people exactly what it was like or what it was about, and that was a big bonus. I also had Janice from the Ag. She also had a lot of, and I don't know if she's going to have a job here anymore. She pulled the wool over my eyes like I've never got the wool pulled over my eyes in my life. and I still laugh about it. I got a dose of berry. Not even a it was like a big dose, and she had me hook, line, and sinker, and I fell for it. And I think everybody else on the bus fell for it too, but I'm the guy that was about.
So after that one, are you all right?
Anyway, we're not gonna speak of that anymore. Also, we had Jackie from, our lady from up front here. She was another big bonus to have on the bus. She's such a lovely lady that's so full of life, and she did so, it's just a pleasure to have her with us on the tour. And, yeah, like I said, there were so many great comments about the tour, but really the staff is what done this tour. Haying in the 30s was mentioned. I just wanna, again, to the staff, we do a lot of stuff behind the scenes that nobody ever sees from the MD of Bonnyville. And so I just want to thank the staff for all the little extras and little things we do that nobody ever knows that we do. But the people from Haying in the 30s, they've personally thanked me for all that we've done for the Haying in the 30s. And I'd like to thank council for being there and whoever was there doing the cooking, and just seeing your presence there means a lot to the people. Glendon Parade Derby, again, I want to thank council for being there. Yeah, it was just like it was nice because the old sunshine came out for once, and it was kind of hot and warm. It was really a good feeling to walk down the streets of Glendon there and actually be hot. We haven't had a lot of those days, so it was a lot of fun. So I'm sure everyone enjoyed themselves, and I'm very proud of council, what we did there. And the strychnine thing is, we made ourselves clear that we need strychnine, and half of our MD here we're no different than the county of St. Paul or anyone else that's joining with us that's gonna be in the program. So anyway, Danny had a lot of good thoughts on that. So overall, thank you, everyone. Great job for the last 2 weeks or 3 weeks that we've been off, and appreciate all you guys done, and council, great job out there. That's all I have. At this time, we have to go back and to 6.1. For that work camp, we have to make another motion, I believe, or we need information from Stephanie here.
Yeah, Mr. Reeve, my apologies. It was brought to my attention that to ensure that we meet the requirements of the Act, we need to be able to provide an applicant with the reason for refusal, which means we need an actual motion of refusal. However, again, to make sure that we comply with the procedure bylaw, first I'll need a motion for council to approve suspending the rules for a motion arising with respect to this item, because we've already contemplated other items since. And then we would have, need a motion from council refusing the application with reasons.
Okay, so what motion do we acquire first of all?
We've prepared this motion as suspending the rules, council's discretion.
Okay, let's read this over and. Councillor Palmer.
Through the reef to Stephanie, with this, if it's appealed, and we don't provide reasons for refusal, and if they get turned down at the appeal, can they go to the Court of Appeals because of procedural issues? Because this would be procedural.
Through the reeve to Councillor Palmer, I don't know for sure. They may choose to try to use that as a reason. I can't say whether or not the court would accept that. But because our land use bylaw says that we will provide reasons for refusal, that's where administration today is looking for that motion so that we can comply with that requirement.
So then it would probably be better to make a motion with reasons for refusal versus bending the procedural bylaw, because if it goes to the Court of Appeals, Court of Appeals don't review a appeal, they review the process and that the process was followed.
And so this is us trying to make sure we follow the procedural process. So motions arising can absolutely take place, but our procedural bylaw says that they will occur before council moves on to another item, where here council has already moved on to other items. Suspending this rule will allow a motion arising with respect to this development application today. Yeah.
Gotcha.
All right, would someone like to make this motion? Yes, Councillor DeShane? Thank you. That council approves suspending the rules of bylaw number 1892, procedural bylaw as amended under subsection 17.14 AI for the purpose of allowing a motion arising with respect to the item 6.1 development application number 2026D119 work camp. Any discussion on this motion? Caroline?
Nope.
Yeah. I'll call for the vote. That's carried, thank you. And our next motion is that council refuse development. Is that what you need next? Someone like to make this motion? Councillor Kalu? Thank you for making this motion. That council refuse development per application number 2026D119 for the following reason. Development nuisance factors of noise and lights is incompatible with the use, character, and appearance of surrounding properties. Any discussion, council, on this motion? I'm not seeing any. I'll call for the vote, please. That's carried. Thank you. All right, I just need a motion to go into closed session, I believe. I'll make that motion. Thank you, Councillor DeShane. I'll call for the vote. That's carried.